Let's hello, you lovelies, and welcome to Koicast, a podcast about pop culture, a lot of comic books, and a few people. We are here today on a very important episode. It happens twice a year. Twice a year, we dive deep into our Letterboxd archives and stats, and this part of the year, we dive into the lifetime of Letterboxd. It is something that might just be for me and Jake. I don't know if anyone enjoys it as much as we do, but twice a year, Jake and I look into each other's digital eyes and go, "What are you doing with movies?" How are you this week, Jake?
I'm a little under the weather. I have like a sore throat. I have it's swollen in my lymph nodes.
Little season change action.
Tonsil. I have a pain in my side right here.
Oh, like a
the
full lymph node attack. That's like
I don't
right
know.
there.
Like,
That's
I
like
feel
a whole.
I once had like a gallbladder problem, and it was the same kind of pain. And I'm like, oh man, maybe I got a God, I can't say gallbladder. That's a hard one to say.
It's a weird word. Also, it's not like you're the way the world is going. It's not stressful at all, so it couldn't be anything else. Everything's fine.
But other than the physical fact that I'm a little bit out of it, I'm very happy today. Although you did just blatantly lie to the people, and I can't let that go. You said that these Letterboxd episodes are twice a year, not always, because sometimes
I don't record them. We have them. You and I. That was the definition of just for me and you, because it was literally just for me and you. No one else got to hear it.
No, I don't think so. Wasn't that? I can't remember. I think this episode last year, I think was the one that you no-showed.
Oh, was it?
Yes.
Did you and Alexandra do your Letterboxd? Oh, that's great. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So you and I, this episode is 2 years in the making. Because if you remember, I made a sheet with all of our stats so that we could follow, and I only have July 2022. I do not have July 2023. So
that tracks. I get a little crazy in July.
So this is literally the last time we attempted to do this. You no-showed your own show, and I did not and will not let you live that down.
Fair.
As I should.
Understood.
I mean, shouldn't.
I get it.
So this episode is 2 years in the making.
Well, here we are. I'm very excited to see what the stats change is with 2 years, because we do our yearly in January, and then our lifetime in July. And without further ado, I'm gonna just open this Letterboxd app, and I'm pretty excited. Have you done the spreadsheet?
Yeah, again, I have it in front of me for 20. I have the one from 2022. Yes.
So we're gonna be adding in real time 2024 was my question.
Yes, because I don't have.
Understand.
Yeah.
You don't have access to mine, because that'd be great.
Yes. Well, I do. I just don't. I'm gonna look at my own shit. Screw you. So once again, feel free to pop open your own Letterboxd, follow along. I'm at Jake Lloyd Bacon. He's at Koijandro, no longer underscore.
I learned how to edit, and it was a very big moment. Also, for the people at home, this is not a sponsored episode. None of these are sponsored episodes. Any single mention of Letterboxd goes unpaid. That said, available for pay, Letterboxd. If you're listening to this, anyone at Letterboxd, I know you've got your what's your favorite for, and you do really amazing content with celebrities on red carpets, but we do weekly love of your page.
I think you need to use all of that evil social media power that you wield, and
to beat up Nazis.
Have everybody, take a break from calling Nazis twats. And use everybody to yell at Letterboxd about the fact that
I like this at Letterboxd campaign.
Give us all right. And honestly, we don't need much. I'll take like a $20 bill. To be honest with you.
Yeah, no. I'll take a free. I'll give free patron letter life sponsorship.
Yeah, 100%. Okay. Koijandro, I don't have last year's stats for you, so let's go 2 years ago. You were at 2357 total films. How many do you got?
2649.
So you've watched 300 movies
in 2 years.
In 2 years.
That's like
a movie every
other day.
Yeah,
I like that. That feels good. What do you got?
I also gained almost a similar amount. I was at 2097. Now I'm at 2327. So
nice.
Just shy. Actually, no, wait. That's 232. So it's like 270 movies. So it's a little bit less.
Tracking nicely.
Right.
That puts me at 4,926 hours.
That's not one I kept last time, but that's a lot of hours.
I enjoy that I'm almost at 5,000 hours because I think of that like how do you master something as the 10,000 hours. I'm halfway to mastery of watching movies.
Well, yeah, but you're a fucking cheater because you do like 8-hour-long TV shows. So
I do. Okay, I'm almost at mastering watching. I've almost mastered watching.
Fucking touch grass over there. 4,118 hours of actual movies on my end.
All right. Well, I've watched 800 more hours of probably just TV that I've logged.
How many different directors are you at?
1,385.
So you were at 1,238 2 years ago.
So I've watched over 150 new directors
in 2 years. So that's you
pretty
figure
cool.
75 every year. You're watching 75 new directors.
That's like 5 directors a month.
Yeah, I'm at so I was at 1,231 2 years ago. Now I'm at 1,361. So that's 130 if my math is correct.
Also, you've almost caught up to me. And I've watched literally 300 more films, and you're only like 20 directors away. That's cool.
It's probably because
you watch a lot of indies.
I watch a lot of like directors who are never going to get the opportunity to direct another movie.
Yeah, you watch a lot of like they made 3 things. I've seen one of them.
Yeah,
and I've watched 5 different directors this week that made 3 things.
Yeah, and you've also watched like I've seen every movie David Fincher's ever made.
Yeah, I'm a completionist for a lot of directors.
Right. I have unfortunately only watched 9 more countries than 2 years ago. I was at 41, now I'm at 50. What about you?
I don't know what I was at, but I'm at 58 now.
That's not possible. Countries?
58 countries.
So some listings have been edited because you were at 60. So somehow you lost.
I've lost 2 maybe they formed new countries.
Oh,
Maybe
right,
it's like the
right. Shit.
Like war happens, Jake.
Oh shit. Fucking Russia. Are they taking over?
I think we've lost country. I love that instead of assuming that things on the tech side, I'm like, no, borders have changed.
Right. Hey, that's what that game Risk is all about.
Letterboxd, Risk. See, let's make stuff, Letterboxd. My longest streak is 114 weeks, which I think is how long I've had the app.
Yeah, that's insane. I'm at 30, and I don't know what it was. I don't know if I've even gone up from that because I didn't take that one last time, but
that's just staggering. Like I don't take time off.
Right. All right. So what is your what's your most watched year? If you scroll down, you'll see the by year, and you'll have to do the little thing where you slide your fingers. Your most watched year used to be 2019. So the question is, in 2023, because this one was, did you beat it?
I have not. It was 125 in 2019. That's pretty hard to beat. That is a lot of films.
Oh, wait a minute. No. So that it's gone up actually. So I'm sorry. This isn't how many you watched within that year.
Oh, it's of that year.
Of that year. Because you were at 121 in 2019.
Oh, so I've seen 4 2019 films since?
There you go. I was at 2010 was my most, which at 97. And it looks like that's gone up to 100. And I've watched 99 movies from 2013. So if I watch one more movie from 2013.
Wow, that's actually a lot closer. Yeah, mine are pretty spread, and then 2019's victorious.
And what are your top 3 decades?
Still 1980s, number 1, which is correct. And since then, actually, I have a new 5-star film from the 80s that only happened a month ago, so that's pretty cemented. I love me the 80s. And then the second decade is the 2020s, which makes sense.
Okay, so you switched. So the 2020s overtook your 90s because you used to have 80s, 90s, 20s. Oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah, 80s, 90s, 20s. That's what your one was 2 years ago.
Because fuck the 2000s and 2010s.
Right.
Now it's 80s, 2020s, 1990s.
So your back 2 have rotated. My front 2 have rotated. I used to have my top 3 decades used to be 60s, 70s, and 80s in order, but now they're 70s, 60s, and 80s. And I bet you the reason why is because I went on like a 1960s movie streak with all I was doing a lot of the Bonds. I was doing a lot of older movies in the past, like probably last year or so I was doing that. So I bet you that rating got knocked down because I inevitably watched some movies that weren't as good as like the classics.
And I've watched a lot more of the classics that were just holes in what my 80s experience was. Like, I want to talk about it. I watched The Untouchables. In the last year, I've watched The Thing, a new 5-star film in The Abyss. So I think 80s is pretty solid.
Right. But also, you've just seen so many 80s movies, probably.
I just love the 80s.
Although, actually, no, it's not true. I bet you've seen way more 2020s movies, which is surprising. Oh, no, this is
average.
This is most watched.
Highest rated I have.
Oh, yeah. Most watched. Top 3 decades. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's what it is. Top 3 decades means highest rated. Sorry, I was confused.
So my highest rated, the 80s, my average is 3.61. 2020's average is 3.47. 90s average is 3.46.
My averages are higher than all of yours. Not by a lot, but my 70s is 3.79, 3.78 for the 60s, and 3.52 for the 80s. So on a bell curve, I'm just much kinder to movies than you are.
You are, and that's what the opposite of people would assume by our demeanors on talking about all these things.
So you're 2 years ago, your highest watch star was Sam Jackson. Has Sam Jackson been beaten as your highest watch star from 2 years ago?
Oh, that's way down here. I have like a lot of movies between that section. My setup.
Well, that's different. No. Yeah. Well, it's because we didn't really go through all that other stuff.
Okay, we didn't do genres and everything.
No, because that stuff it's become so granular.
That's true. Well, yeah, Letterboxd has definitely gotten very data. Most watch movies and stuff. Stars. Here we go. Most watch. Samuel Jackson still number 1 of all time. 50 movies.
So he's gone up. You've watched 6 new movies with him.
That's incredible that he has 50 movies I've seen. That is so much work.
But also you cheat because some of those are TV shows from Marvel. You cheater.
That's true. Actually, there's less TV shows on here, but they're working on making more TV shows on here, and it's going to really throw off our jam.
I don't care as long as you can turn it off like you can with adult films, because there's like they put adult films on Letterboxd, but there's a setting that just says like don't include these.
Oh, that'd be cool.
And just do that with TV, and I don't care. I'll be happy camper. You used to be Matt Damon as number 2 for you. It was Sam Jackson, Matt Damon.
So I'll give you my top. Let's do. Top
I have 5.
8, I think
I've only wrote 5 down from 2 years ago.
Okay, top 5. I've got Sam Jackson number 1 at 50. I've got Matt Damon number 2 at 44.
Okay, you only watched two new Matt Damons. He used to have 42.
He's slowing down. I've got 42 Ryan Reynolds movies at 3.
Ooh, he moved from 5th to 3rd for you.
That feels nice. That feels good. It's about to be 43 in 2 weeks. I watched 42 Brad Pitt films at 4.
He overtook Tom Cruise.
At number 5, Tom Cruise is 41.
So you still have the exact same top 5. They're just in a different order.
Oh, that's so. I just like these actors. Like I literally watch those movies because I like these.
Or
people.
these people just work in the same area that you do, as far as
that's true. They're in my space. Right. They're in my genre space.
So my top 5. What do you got? My top 5's gotten a little bit. No, they're all kind of. It's the same situation. So Ben Stiller used to be at the top of mine, but was overtaken by Sam Jackson for me. And so it's for me, it's Jackson, Stiller, Bill Murray, Paul Rudd. Adam Sandler was knocked off by Will Ferrell for me.
Oh,
I can't imagine in the last 2 years what Will Ferrell did that I had not seen previously. Oh, actually, there was one movie that we just watched 2 nights ago that was a new one for him. But yeah, so it's still kind of like, I do feel like it's really gonna take. Honestly, it's going to take one of these sort of people who are in like the 5, 6, 7 position of most watched to end up with some insane franchise that makes 7 movies in the next 5 years for any of these to really change for us.
Well, I feel like my number 7 might move. It's Colin Farrell at 38.
Right. Sure.
And
so
there's a couple Colin Farrell movies I haven't seen. Not a lot, but like I never saw The Lobster. And like stuff like that I know that I want to see.
But I'm sure there are also movies from those other people who you also haven't seen, and you'll probably see those both equally.
Because they're in that genre space.
Do I know what it's gonna also take like some people just slowing down in their older age. Like Sam Jackson stopped being in new movies. Other people will start catching up to him.
And Matt Damon being in more stuff because he took a little break. He might, eventually dethrone the Sammy J.
Right. All right. So
it's so funny how your favorite actors end up being most watched. Like I would never have assumed, and then I look at this, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
Well, because, you're going to give them more opportunities despite the fact that some of the movies might not be entertaining or you might not.
Well, I actually see movies based on movie stars. Like, I actually will see a blank movie. Like, if Brad Pitt's in something, I go see it. Like, that's how I see movies, so it makes sense.
Yeah, you're the problem.
I know.
All right. Highest rated. I only have our top 5 from 2 years ago. Your highest rated used to be Panavat Nanakapornaman. I probably butchered that.
He's been dethroned.
Oh, mine was Martin McDougall, who has not been dethroned.
I've got Anthony N. Who that is, I don't know.
Oh, all right. He wasn't in your top 5 last year or 2 years ago, I should say.
Anthony N., star of Everything Everywhere All at Once, Warrior Logan. Oh, he's a stunt guy, probably.
Oh, interesting. Are you
Those
saying
are all stunt-heavy films?
His last name is NG?
No, like the letter N.
Oh, interesting.
Like he's the most like some guy photo on Letterboxd.
Right.
Like
yeah.
I actually don't know this man.
That's just a stock image. It's not even that guy.
Yeah, it looks like his like a license photo. It like might just be like dude's photo.
And he's at 4.8? Is that what you said?
4.4.
4.4. Wait a minute, how's that possible? Because your old highest rated was 4.6. Panavat used to be 4.6. Something has changed.
I must have rewatched a movie and liked it less.
That's how.
Right?
Oh, that makes sense. I was gonna say, how the hell could that possibly change? But yeah, that's right.
I
Their
must
ratings
have changed
should go
something,
down.
or he had a new movie come out that I hated.
Didn't like. Yeah, exactly. Because of course that'll just skew the average. Oh, interesting. So you're
old Panavat made a choice, but you'll like my number 2. One of the doctors there, Peter Capaldi's my number 2.
Oh, interesting. That's
strong
surprising.
Paddington presence,
right? He was not in your top 5 previously. So far, neither of those two were in your top 5.
We've got a James Patrick Stewart.
He was
at number 3.
He was not in your top 5 last time.
All of my top 5 are 4.4, by the way. And then we've got a Brent McGee.
Nope, didn't have him either.
Who also looks like a Russo brothers guy. He's in everything the Russos
right.
did.
Sure, okay.
And then number 5 is very funny to me because I never would have guessed this. Old Don Rickles.
Don Rickles was in your... No, you would have guessed it because he was in your top 5 from 2 years
Don
ago.
Makes it.
He was number 4 2 years ago in 2023.
Because I love Toy Story.
There it is. Yeah. So your top 5 used to be Panavat, used to be Jacob Batalon, Angori Rice, Don Rickles, and Robbie G.
Robbie G is real close. He's at number 7.
But now your
I
top
love when you can
5s
tell a director works with someone because of your top 5. Like Robbie G is such a Guy Ritchie guy,
right?
The Russo brothers guy. Like it's funny,
and they're all still 5. They're all. Well, you said yours are all 4.4. Your entire top
4.4. All top 8 are all 4.4.
So my top 2 are still exactly the same: McDougall and Cohen Holloway, who I'm sure everybody knows. He's a New Zealand actor. He's in all of the Taika movies that I love. So he's sort of it's gonna be tough to dethrone him because he's only done the movies that I love most, right?
Sure.
At least I've only seen those, I should say. And then Maximilio Hernandez used to be my number 3. He's in the MCU and he's connected to the Captain America side, and those tend to be
the ones you prefer.
Or just not to prefer, but they're like those are those are all the ones that knock it out of the park, right?
Yeah.
But he was dethroned by my new number 3, Aaron Lazar. He's also in the Marvel movies, but he's in Everything All at Once. And he's in This Is Where I Leave You, which is like a fucking 4.5 star, one of my all-time favorites. I look at him and I go, yeah. I see his face and I go, I recognize that face. Could not tell you who he is in any of those movies, though. He's got one of those. And then unfortunately, my other 2 were dethroned. Julie Delpy and David Prowse were my 4 and 5 from 2 years ago. They have been dethroned. Viggo Mortensen has climbed the ranks.
Oh, interesting. I love how yours are actually people I recognize.
And do you want to know what it is? It's not that Viggo climbed the ranks, because all of the movies that I have him rated for, I definitely have not watched either of them in the past couple of years. But it's like you said, I know Julie Delpy. I just talked about an indie movie on the Patreon Only pod, the LA Without a Map that she was in, and it's just not that...
Didn't work for you like the others.
So that definitely knocked her down quite a bit. And David Prowse, I wonder what I watched with him that knocked him down, because he's not even in my top 10 anymore.
Wow. Yeah, you must have watched something you did not like.
Right, probably.
You want to head to directors?
Yeah, most watched directors. So I did tack all of our 20 on this because I just think that the most watched directors is probably just the most interesting thing as far as like directors who are successful and continue to work and have like a legacy.
Yeah. Do you want to go through the 20?
Well, let me just ask you. You used to have Steven Spielberg at the top with a comfortable lead at 18 from your second, which was Michael Bay at 14.
Okay, now it's Steven Spielberg at 20.
Okay.
But Ridley Scott at 15.
Oh, so Ridley has overtaken your old second and third.
Yeah, because now it's Guy Ritchie, Michael Bay, and Soderbergh all at 14.
So Soderbergh used to be tied for Bay with you at 14.
And then I watched a bunch of Guy Ritchie because Guy Ritchie's putting out like 2 or 3 movies a year.
Yeah, Guy Ritchie
was in the last 2 years. Guy Ritchie's done a lot more work.
So yours was really interesting because you had a what is that 17-way tie 2 years ago
at 14. I remember that.
No, at 13. From
oh yeah, that's right.
Your fourth position was Joel Schumacher all the way down. So you had Schumacher, Ridley Scott, Burton, Sean Levy, Zemeckis, Linklater, Robert Rodriguez, Fincher, Kevin Smith, Reitman, Ron Howard, Chris Nolan, Brett Ratner, Tarantino, Danny Boyle, and Peter Berg all had 13 movies apiece, which is kind of
it has changed.
It's also just crazy that like what are the odds that you've watched that many different directors exactly 13 times?
That exact amount. Yeah, that's so funny because it has definitely changed, but also like, did I just go like, oh, that's good. I'm done here.
That's your limit.
I get a sense for your work. I've assessed my feelings on your directing.
That's really funny. What if there's like some weird thing where it's like directors, you get 13 movies and that's it. Like we try to find someone
like Tarantino's weird ass 10 movie thing, but there actually is something to it.
Yeah, but there is also something to, if you think about like movie takes 2 years to make,
how much juice you got. But look at Ridley Scott. Like I loved The Last Duel more than some of the stuff he made when he was younger.
Sure. But I guess the point I'm trying to make is that like, I would argue most directors primes maybe 40s and 50s as far as their ages, right? Those 2 decades, you figure that right there is, if you're making 5 movies, that's 10 movies. And that, I know some people bust out a few. I mean, Steven Spielberg could knock out 3 a fucking year and they could all be Oscar winners. But
Clint Eastwood's making movies in his grave right now.
Yeah, but are you seeing them?
He's making them.
That's the point I'm trying to make,
Sure. And then there's directors like David Fincher who did all that like music video work, and then his first movie would not have been like, oh, this guy.
Right.
But now I've been watching Mindhunter and I'm like, God damn, do I love this man. Like Fincher's just a genius.
Does he direct all of those though?
No, he produced all of them and directed like half.
Okay, because I was gonna say I don't think.
But still, that's crazy.
No, that's crazy.
Especially with how long he takes to direct. That's why they're not making more of it because that must have been like a 6-month shoot an episode.
Right.
So yeah, my top 5 were Spielberg, Scott, Ritchie, Bay, and Soderbergh tied up. The last 3 were tied up. Zemeckis, Schumacher, Linklater, Fincher, Rodriguez, Levy, Burton are now tied up.
How many?
13.
Got it.
And then Scorsese, Nolan, Howard, Kevin Smith are at 11. And then Peter Farrelly, Tarantino, Zack Snyder, and Ivan Reitman at 10.
Peter Farrelly is the only one who's new on your top list.
Oh, interesting. I wonder what I watched.
But also, like,
I have such a fucking type. I love that my directors and actors are like, yep, that's what you like.
That's really interesting. Yeah.
2 years is a long data set. Like the fact that my shit is so similar is so crazy. Like I always think like I don't have a certain thing I like, and then you're like, no, it's the same fuckers, same guys.
Yeah, mine has almost not changed at all for most watch.
Better.
So Spielberg is still at the top. Second is Burton with 14, and then I have a multi-way tie. Richard Donner, Kevin Smith, Dennis Dugan, Michael Bay. And then and then I have Joel Cohen. And then with 11 and then a giant tie for 10 and Wes Anderson. I'm sorry, I keep looking back and forth there. Ron Howard, Sean Levy, Tarantino, Linklater. Shit, it's almost entirely unchanged. Everybody,
we're a certain kind of people.
The internet's favorite, John Landis, is up there now at 9. So actually, wait a minute. Oh yeah. So the only new ones at the very bottom of mine. I have new people that have tied for 9. Jeff Tremaine is new from my list. Jeff Tremaine is the guy that
did
all the Jackass movies. Yep. Sam Raimi's still there. Harold Ramis still there. So somehow John Landis popped up. I wonder what new thing I watched that John Landis is credited with.
Interesting.
I must have watched like a new. Oh, maybe speaking of your boy Don Rickles, maybe it was the Don Rickles documentary. That maybe.
Oh, that's funny.
But yeah, almost entirely. We both only really have one new person on the list.
That's so we are of a type. In 2 years, that's crazy.
That's gonna be a tough thing to change. I mean,
yeah, it's I like these directors, I guess.
And also, you're just putting up you're putting up so much the numbers there. It's sort of
I'm
similar.
not gonna watch 15 direct. There's a very small likelihood a director is gonna have 10 movies that I haven't seen that I like.
It's gonna take like another 10, 15 years before you doing this before somebody gets to the point where it's like, yeah, Tim Burton, Steven Spielberg, Michael Bay, like those names of people who've just been doing it for so fucking long. Even
and
Kevin
I look
Smith.
at this and I go these are my favorite. Yes, you're right. Like there's not going to be I've got a new favorite to a 10 movie span.
Right, yeah. Again, it's really crazy. It's going to take some insane franchise that somebody helms. That it's yeah, we're doing this for the next 10 years. I'm going to be doing a movie every year of fucking.
You mean
whatever.
the DCU? Because I'm fucking ready.
You know what? Yeah, but those are all going to be directed by different people.
Yeah, unless James Gunn as
a producer is gonna fucking fly up there in your producer rankings for sure.
You know what's funny? I just looked. I have my highest producer isn't Kevin Feige. It's I have one more Joel Silver, which is I definitely love 80s and 90s Warner Brothers.
Yeah, mine's Kevin Feige. Mine's Kevin Feige right at 37.
I've got 39 Silver, 38 Feige.
Interesting. Silver's not even on my top 5 producers.
That's so funny.
As far as most watched.
Our highest rated directors?
Highest rated directors. So your top 5, well, I only kept the 5. Your top 5 used to be Paul King, Gus Van Sant, Daniel Kwan, Daniel Scheinert, and John Krasinski. Those used to be your top 5 rated directors.
Oh, shit. Krasinski's not even in my top 10 anymore.
Okay.
Because I thought If was fine.
Okay.
We've got a new number 1 as well.
Oh, Paul King has been dethroned.
He is number 2 next to Alex Garland.
Oh.
Fucking Civil War, man. Civil War was so fucking good.
Interesting.
So Alex Garland number 1, Paul King, Gus Van Sant, Daniel Kwan, and Daniel Scheinert tied.
So those all slid down
a little ping, and they're all right there, tied up at second place.
So
and
somebody just overtook the guy that did Civil War. Just overtook
Garland.
Your entire thing.
I just love Civil War.
Is that the only movie he's done? What else has he done?
No, Ex Machina, Annihilation.
That guy, yeah. I didn't like Annihilation, so he'll never be that high on my list because the movies, the bell curve and all that. But
I clearly I like his blend of sci-fi.
Yeah, you do.
And then Detrixhe Jean-France is number 6, which makes me happy. I love his work. Place Beyond the Pines, Blue Valentine.
Oh, okay. Right. Blue Valentine.
Denis Villeneuve with Dune.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Lee Unkrich, Michel Gondry, and Bo Burnham at number 10. I wanted to get to my 10 because Bo Burnham popping up made me happy.
I mean,
I like how versatile that is.
When you only have 2 or 3 movies and they're all fucking bangers.
When you make Inside and you change my life a little bit. Thanks, bro. I'm really happy with that 10. That 10 feels like my actors where I'm like, that makes sense.
So my top 5, someone's been dethroned. Someone is so my Milos Forman is still my number 1 at 5-star movies because I've seen only a few of his movies and they're all 5 stars. So he literally is at 5-star right now. Milos Forman is I'm sure that he has such a huge.
You'll watch something you don't adore.
Yeah, that's one of those directors where it's like he has so many movies and I've just happened to have not seen a lot of them, and I'm sure that rating will probably go down. I've seen the movies that are the most critically acclaimed of his. But that he's
like
my
my
number 1.
80s thing. I didn't watch all the fucking bad straight to DVD 80s movies.
Right. It used to then be Daniel Destin Cretton at number 2, Peter Weir, Dean Dubois, and Taika Waititi at number 5. But that's Destin Daniel Cretton is not even on my list anymore. I wonder what I watched of his that knocked him down. Let me see here. I gotta figure out. I don't know what he directed recently or that I watched in the past couple of years.
That would have. You can click on him and just see his work, right?
Yeah, well, he's not on my list anymore. So I just did a quick IMDb. Yeah, I did a quick IMDb search for him. Yeah, shit. I mean, I'm trying to look at the movies he did. All I really see here. I don't know. Maybe it was Shang-Chi. No, but that had already come out. That's interesting. I wonder why he's not on the list because it doesn't seem. I can't find the thing that he is credited as directing.
Because he hasn't directed a lot.
I only know the two movies that I fucking love of his, which are Short Term 12 and Shang-Chi.
Weird.
Oh, I don't know. No idea. So that's fucking fascinating. But
well, we didn't cover it. But do you have any of the crew stuff in
most?
Wait.
Let me finish though. I didn't get through.
Sorry. I thought you did 3. My bad.
No, I lost my cheat here. There we go. So then, it used to be Peter Weir, Dean DuBois, and Taika, but Frank Darabont snuck his way into the top. So did Mel Brooks. How? It must be that thing where I didn't watch anything new, but it must have been that I watched something that that Dean DuBois did that knocked him down.
You didn't love as much,
and Taika got knocked down too. Because of Next Goal Wins. Yeah, because Next Goal Wins. Even though I liked it,
just wasn't.
He was sitting at 4 and 5-star movies only for a while.
And Dean DuBois' How to Train Your Dragon live action hopefully puts him back in the running.
Yeah, I wonder what I watched of Dean DuBois. I mean, he's still on the list. He's just
lower.
Yeah. Interesting. So wait, what were you saying though? Now you wanted to?
Oh, I was just curious. The crew and studios. We didn't write anything down, but I love that. Like a lot of this is what I'd expect, even more than the actors. Like producers, Joel Silver, Kevin Feige. That makes sense. I love that writers most watched is David Cope, Kevin Smith, Luc Besson, and Guy Ritchie.
Interesting. Mine are we both have Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith is tied for first. Kevin Smith and John Hughes. How fucking funny is that?
That's so on brand. And also the inspiration for each other. Or John Hughes inspiring Kevin. So, that's great.
They both tied at 13, and then the rest of the tie is Adam Sandler, Ethan Coen, and Judd Apatow.
Such an on-brand set for each of us. And then, that's exactly what I would say is your writing. Yes. And then original writers is fucking banger.
What does that mean? That's like story.
They wrote the thing someone adapted.
Right. That's it. I don't remember seeing that category previously. That must be new
to me. But it's fucking Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, Bob Kane, Bill Finger, Joe Shuster.
So wait, Bill Finger I don't have. I do have Joel Shuster tied on number 5, but that order was identical except replace Bill Finger with Ian Fleming because of James Bond.
Oh, I love that. Oh, that's so fun.
But I'm trying to think, what else does Bill Finger do that? Oh, do you want to know? It's probably just that
animated Batman, dude.
I know, but the thing is that I have all that shit logged too. I do want to know what it is. I bet you it's simply that he's probably like just below Schuster.
Yeah, he's probably at 16. I have 18. I've seen one more.
Right. But Ian Fleming, 20 fucking movies.
Yeah, and I've got 18 Bill Finger. I just haven't seen 20 of someone else.
That's interesting.
And then I personally love this the cinematography because fucking Roger Deakins all day at number 1. Oliver Wood is a genius. Matthew Libatique, I just discovered how much I love.
Oliver Wood is my number 5. The other two people that you mentioned aren't even on my list.
Oh, no. Deakins?
Nope. Not even on my list.
Oh, dude. He's at 24. Deakins is my favorite cinematographer by a lot.
What did they shot?
Oh, dude. Blade Runner 2049, Sicario, Prisoners, Skyfall.
Didn't see it.
Rango,
didn't see it.
True Grit.
Did you say Rango, the animated one?
Yeah.
Okay, I did.
Yeah.
That's the first one I saw. It's the first one.
Fucking hell. Assassination of Jesse James by the Coward Robert Ford.
Oh, that I fucking love.
No Country for Old Fucking Men, dog.
So
Brother, Big Lebowski, Fargo, Shawshank.
This is simply one of those things where he's done a ton of things, but I just haven't seen a lot. Like I've seen a lot of the back end ones you mentioned, but out of all the ones you named, I saw half of them, so.
And they were the back. Yeah, no, I didn't think I watched DPs that way. And then this year I discovered Greg Fraser with Dune and Batman. And I've really been, and Deakins I always knew I loved, but it's cool to see I do watch by DP.
And you're still in most watched, right? You're not in highest rated?
Yes.
Because my most watched undeniably are people who just have been shooting comedies and mainstream things. Like the number 1 on my list with 21, or there's tied. 2 Deans are tied. Dean Semler and Dean Cunley. And they've shot all of the a bunch of movies for Adam Sandler, a bunch of movies that Steve Carell stars in. They shot, Maleficent in 2012, Last Action Hero, Waterworld. Like, so this is just somebody, the original Mario Brothers movie with Bob Hoskins. Like, so this is somebody who's clearly just been working for so long.
Yeah, they've got the accumulated.
That it's not even like a specific style.
They just make movies.
Right.
They're like workmen. They're like, what do they call them? Like workman director, but workhorse DPs. Whereas if I hear Deacon shot something, I'll go see it. Like if I hear Deacon's, so I have 24 Deacons because I will see everything he shoots.
Interesting.
But now I'm curious about highest rated. Actually, one last thing. Most watched for studio, WB
where's
by
that?
a lot.
Where's that in the very bottom?
Last one before you hit Seymour.
Oh, I got it. Yeah. Warner?
WB by 230.
I have 210 Warner at the very top.
I got 212 Universal.
I have 190 Universal, so that's also second, but...
And then Columbia, 186.
Yep, 176. We're getting closer.
Oh, we're like exactly neck and neck.
But it's the same.
Paramount.
Yep, 165.
174. We're getting closer with each one. 20th Century Fox.
Yep, 130.
159.
So, but literally, that's funny that they're the exact same five. If that's not a testament to how the studio system is a problem, I don't know what is.
Also, Disney didn't make the cut.
Oh shit! Yeah, you're right.
For either of us.
If you go to see more and see the full thing, how far down are they? Oh, they're actually they're in the top 6. So even the next one on my list was New Line, and then Walt Disney was after that.
New Line, DreamWorks, MGM, Relativity.
Wow, we have all the same ones. Obviously, we have the same ones. There's only so many studios.
Studio system. Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. If you look at the way Disney is now versus historically Disney, that shows what Disney's become versus what they've always been.
Right.
That's crazy.
That is really interesting. It's also surprising because you log shows, and Disney is
makes
part of
shows.
all of those shows that you log, and I don't even log those. So that's surprising that it's not higher for you and that's higher on mine. So you want to go to highest.
I just want to check out a couple highest rated. Like
who's your highest rated writer?
Nico Lathoris.
I have a 4-way tie. Do you have a tie?
Yep, I've got a 2-way tie with Nico and Aaron Stockard.
What's their rating?
4.8.
Oh, I have a 4-way tie for 5 stars for writers.
Oh yeah, I don't do 5 stars.
2 of them are Julie Delpy and Ethan Hawke.
The Before movies.
because they haven't written a lot of other like that.
Yeah, they don't have anything to bring them down. They're just fucking poets.
It's going to be an untouched fucking record. But they are tied.
Yeah, they're in ink, dude. They
are tied with Roman Coppola.
Oh.
Who wrote Wes Anderson movies that I love. He is also starred for 5 because he wrote 2 of the movies of his that are 5-star movies for me in Darjeeling Limited and Moonrise Kingdom. And the number 1 at the top of the list is Paul Schrader, who wrote Raging Bull, Taxi Driver, another guy who's like 5-star bangers,
Yeah.
The only person on my top 5 that isn't a 5-star is Charlie Kaufman, who did Eternal Sunshine, Adaptation, Punch Drunk Love. No, Being John Malkovich, I think. So like, it's going to be hard.
So interesting the names you don't recognize versus do and how much impact they have on you.
Right.
Like, I would not have known this guy, Nico Lathoris, but he writes with the Mad Max films. So he's got 2 movies, but they're both bang. And then Aaron Stockard works with Ben Affleck. So he's got The Town and Catch Me or Gone Baby Gone.
And it's
fascinating.
It's also that thing of like, man, I have a theory that there are no famous writers.
Right.
That
Linklater's in my original writers.
But he's a director. And you only know him because he's a director.
Right.
That nobody goes to see a movie because of who wrote it unless that writer is also the director of that movie.
Except maybe Sorkin. I see Sorkin movies.
Maybe.
But but we're also in the film bubble. Like, who knows if there are famous writers? We're so plugged in, we can't say blank. And then I just want to see, let's see. Composers, Enrico Morricone makes sense. Let's see.
For highest
Studios, Pacific Western is my number 1.
Picky Films, Piki Films, Picky Films. It's probably New Zealand. Yep, they produced Hunt of the Wilder People and Jojo Rabbit, and they're both 5-star movies.
Taika. Pacific Western did The Abyss, Terminator, and T2.
Venture Forth That is exciting for me. I love that studio. If I could have a movie fucking distributed by Venture Forth, I'd be very excited. Venture Forth did Skeleton Twins, Before Midnight, Love Ship, Hate Ship. Like they're one of those really like kind of awesome indie darling
They're
studios.
Jake shit.
Yeah.
My number 2, you'll appreciate Gramercy Pictures with Big
Gramercy.
Lebowski, Dazed, and Mallrats.
Gramercy. I want a t-shirt. I want a Gramercy t-shirt.
I'd rock the fuck out of a Gramercy Pictures t-shirt.
Right? That's a good looking. I like that design too.
Yeah, that's the one thing I'd have Kevin Smith sign. Like I'm like, I know you do, but this would make this very specifically your shit. Oh, that was fun. I fucking love Stats Month.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting to see like I do think that the lifetime stats are going to be the things that change the least, obviously from year to year because they're not comparable. But it's interesting how the needle hasn't moved a ton for the broad strokes. And I think a lot of it really does come down to just like, it's going to take so long. Like if we compare 2022, which I have here, to like 2032, fucking 8 years from now, that would be one thing, but you know.
But 2-3 years. What's your themes? I remember we did that one year.
Themes? Let's see.
Top 5 themes.
Wait, let me go back in my stats.
Themes and nano genres.
So are you doing genres or are you doing themes?
The themes and nano genres themes.
So my number 1 theme,
most watched
with 1,028 films, is crude humor and satire.
1,028
is my top theme. Crude humor.
Well, you got something over me. 821 crude humor and satire is my number 1.
My number 2 is 823 movies that are gags, jokes, and slapstick humor.
My number 2 at 619 is gags, jokes, and slapstick humor.
There you go. But you know, it's also, they clearly label so many movies because these are also, this is the thing about the nano genres where it's like, all right, we need to maybe roll back a little bit of this specificity here, Letterboxd. These are all different categories. Crude humor and satire, gags, jokes, and slapstick humor, funny jokes and crude humor, laugh out loud relationship entanglements, amusing jokes and witty satires. Okay, out of those 5, the only one of them was a different category.
Yeah, and those all made my top 10 too. So what's your highest rated?
Highest rated theme?
Yeah, theme.
What the fuck? This is what happens when you only watch 2 or 3 things of a theme or a genre. And my highest rated theme is Bollywood emotional dramas.
Me too. Exact same. 3.83 Bollywood emotional drama.
God, that's funny. And then you know what my number 2 is?
Is it tragic sadness and captivating beauty?
No, that's my number 3. What does Jake fucking love? Nazis and World War II.
Does not make my top 10.
That is my number 2.
My number 3 is the most me shit. Underdog fighting and boxing stories.
That's not in my top 10 either. That's funny. Oh, shit.
Oh, this is so funny. My number this is my favorite category, I think. 4 is humanity and the world around us. 5,
I have that one. That one's on my list. That's like number 7 or 8. Yeah.
Okay, good. Heartbreaking and moving family drama makes sense. Here's my Nazi version. Racism and the powerful fight for justice.
That's my number 10.
Oh, this is fun. Okay, I just wanted to see that section because it's so specific.
And back into the regular genres, it's still comedy at 1,330. Like that's never gonna not be the highest rated one because so many movies.
Mine's drama, dude.
Oh, drama overtook it. Drama's my number 2.
1,061 drama, 1,053 comedy. 8 more drama.
Oh wow, they're close. My comedy's just like it's that bar. It's such a large jump from 2 to 1. Like it's almost half the amount of movies.
Mine are neck and neck.
Wow, that's crazy.
I love that you watch so many. Like I always give you crap about mumblecore comedies, then we look at our stats and it's like, no, Jake's got a thing.
It's like comedies.
He's a comedy guy, and then action's my number 3.
You like them bang bang shoot 'em ups, punch 'em outs.
According to my nano genre, is almost exclusively. And then my list progress is garbage. I actually want to focus on that once I have a little break.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. There's a lot of those where I'm just like, yeah, I'm never like. I gave up. I tried. At first, I was like, I'm gonna do the Mojo Top 100, but every week it changes.
I want to do the Letterboxd Top 250 because it's in-app, and I want to do IMDb Top 250 because IMDb is the first website I ever bookmarked. Like IMDb's meant a lot to me. And then Box Office Mojo, I'm fucking right there. I'm at 95%. I might as well watch the last 5.
But it's going to be, it's also
that'll change, but I'll see them.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. On theory, sometimes they're not always, but.
It's true. It might be like a Chinese release. There's a couple that are in China.
I'm at 78 of Box Office Mojo. And at one point I was at like 90. So like,
it's just hard.
Because I don't see the new shit that comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing the top. How much of the IMDb top 250 do you have?
127 of 250, almost exactly halfway.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was like, you can't have 120%, dummy. You can only have 100.
I've seen 400 of them, Jake. No,
much?
127 of them.
I have the same, 50%.
Okay, let's try to do that between now and 2027.
Okay, you're giving us 4 years or 3 years?
I think we need it.
I respect that. All right, well, we have a ton of hotline calls to get to, and
let's hear them. That was fun as fuck. I hope we still have listeners. If you're still listening to this, you're a ride or die.
We also have to crown a gift horse for the month as well. So a lot of stuff still to come. All right, let's see here.
Hey, Coy, this is Doug from Pittsburgh, and I just wanted to say congratulations. And for my own part, when I got married, that's when my life's work truly began, and I hope it's the same for you. Take care.
Aww.
Darth
What a beautiful
Vadad.
message.
What a lovely gentleman.
Always lovely. What a dad energy at all times, but like especially with a dad moment. Like that was such a paternal message.
Well, him being like, that's when shit gets real is what this
like that was such a dad, like in a movie, a dad would be like, my life's work began when I got married. Like, and then it's like an overlap fade into like a story,
mother.
and it's like yeah, it's like him when he's in his 20s in New York, and he's like, and then I really like that was so paternal. Darth Vadad, much love, man. I appreciate that.
I'm sure nobody else has called to congratulate you.
Hey, Coy. Hey, Jake. This is Ben from Altadena. Just wanted to call in. It's been a while, but I want to say congratulations to Coy on the engagement. That's really exciting, and love the story about the little incognito friend group flash mob. That was. I was listening to that episode while I was on a walk, and people were probably looking at me like, what is that guy laughing about? But that was a great story. And, no question. Just wanted to say congratulations and thanks both for all you do here.
Very sweet of you.
Ben from Altadena. Love to hear from you again. Call in more. And
also love that we caused you to look like an absolute madman. I'm always appreciative of other people looking crazy in public because I do it often without podcasts. So I appreciate when people have at least cause.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I can be that cause.
Yeah, you don't need any assistance.
No, just coffee.
Hey guys, this is David calling from Birmingham, Alabama. Really appreciate all that y'all do, and this one is a special call because I want to congratulate the great Coy for his engagement. Huge, man, huge. I think everybody deserves to be happy. I think you of all people deserve to feel all the love and joy that you bring into the world. You should receive it as well too. Producer Jake, you're awesome. I'm going to congratulate you for just being you. So congratulations all around. And in honor of today, what do we say about who or what is your favorite wedding or marriage in comic books? Figured a fun little, round table in honor of today. So, again, thank y'all for everything. Excited to hear the next episode, and congrats again.
David from Alabama.
Thank you much, man. I appreciate that. Love the question. I also appreciate the kind words. It's definitely been really wonderful to focus on a life event instead of my usual 99% work event lifestyle. That said,
we did this once for
I was going to say, I'm like, this feels so familiar.
I think we did this once for maybe a Valentine's Day episode or something.
Oh, I was like, what? You didn't get engaged within a week of filming. You did it 2 weeks apart, so I don't think we would have done it for you. Right. So I think it must have been Valentine's Day. It must have been like a day we were filming.
Yeah, we've been engaged for we're going to be engaged for 2 years now.
Yeah.
That's fucking ridiculous. Oh, wait, no. Has it been? Yeah, it's been 2 years.
That's beat you to the wedding punch.
Yeah. Listen,
Wedding's not stressful at all.
It's gonna be
it's
the
not,
same.
it's not stressful.
I'm worried that they're gonna be like within a week from one another. I'm not gonna lie. That's if we can afford to have one in the first place. But anyways, yeah, whatever I said in that one, because I can't quite remember. I'm like blanking on literally all of them right now.
The big three for me are Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man Annual number 21, which may or may not be the basis for my invitations going out. Because I think that image is amazing, and my fiance agreed that we can do that as the basis for invitations, which is why I'm marrying her. My number 2 is Superman and Lois. I think that wedding is just beautiful and iconic, and it's like lasted as important. And then number 3 is just because of the impact of me as a nerd. I really love Deadpool's wedding, and it was the most ever characters on a Marvel cover. Right. Scott Koblish did this amazing double spread, and it's just this dope cover. And I actually really enjoyed the Deadpool marrying an underworld queen storyline. So those are my big 3.
Cyclops and Jean Grey, even though even though it's it doesn't end well
ever.
But that's probably my favorite. And then I think I did say this last time, for all of the like undercutting of what is authority, I think is it Apollo Moon Knighter? I forget the characters' names. Like that, I like that wedding was just like, it's unfortunate because it's like it's one of those things that it's progressive for its ever. But I don't know if you've reread that recently.
Not sense for the best.
Does not hold up as much as I want to say it should. But anyways, thanks so much for the call. I think we got one more hotline call.
All right.
Hey, Coy. Hey, Jake. This is Gilbert up in the Bay Area. And as a Bay Area resident, I want to spotlight someone very important to the industry that's going through a little bit right now and see if anyone would be willing to help. So my home shop is a shop called Flying Colors and other cool stuff. I've been shopping there for 15 years. I even moved an hour away, and I still prefer to go there just because I know everyone there. The layout is exactly like I like it. And as a side note, Jake, he lays out his comics exactly like you liked it when I called in last time about the organization. He's got places for licensed comics. He's got places for Marvel, DC, Indies, manga. He's got a music section for biographies on musicians and stuff. It's just a wonderful shop. It's organized very well. It's bright. It's friendly. Everyone there is just wants to help you. And if that weren't enough, he has been really influential in Bay Area comics industry and then the whole comic book industry. He was one of the founders of WonderCon. He petitioned Stan Lee and Marvel and got them to acknowledge Stockton, California as the birthplace of the Fantastic Four. And he's the person who came up with Free Comic Book Day. So if you've ever gotten a free comic book day, you have Joe Field to thank for that. And they have a new place that they're moving into, but the costs are rising. They're building up, and he's accepting donations to join his Hero Society. So if anyone can go to flyingcolorscomics.com to donate, or go to flyingcolorscomics.blogspot.com for updates, that'd be greatly appreciated. Joe is one of the nicest guys in the industry. He's and he deserves the best, treatment that the comics industry can give him. So if anyone can help, that'd be greatly appreciated. Anyway, you guys have a good week. Have a good couple weeks. Stay sweaty, and let's see if we can help Joe Field. Thanks. Bye.
Gilbert Short, shouting out Joe Field and Flying Colors Comics. FlyingColorsComics.com is what he said. I did not know all of those contributions that Joe Field made to the comics community. I had no idea that he came up with Free Comic Book Day.
That's a lot of things, like a WonderCon impact, the Fantastic Four. I love the energy and passion for you wanting to shout them out as well. Like, I love that you care this deeply about someone. So that's really cool. I'm glad we could have a platform to help boost the word from you to everyone listening right now. That's really special.
Thanks again, Gil. Greatly appreciate you. It is now that time, Coy Jandro.
It is the San Diego Comic-Con month unpunchable gift horse.
To crown our unpunchable gift horse from the last to the next, because Gilbert Short was the June unpunchable gift horse.
And hence he just spoke those wise words.
If you're not sure what this is, well, you got to head on over to patreon.com/koicast. That's patreon.com/koicast. And become a gift horse tiered patron to be entered into this monthly contest. Each and every month, we put all of the eligible patrons into a random name generator called wheelofnames.com. Not a sponsor, much like Letterboxd, not a sponsor. I don't think they have any money. I don't think they could sponsor us. But we spin the wheel. The winner gets an item of their choosing from the shop over at dragonwagonshop.com, as well as gets to add something to Koi and I's watch list for us to talk about over on the patron-only pod. It is the best way to support this program if you enjoy what Koi and I do. If you're a fan of the community that we are at least attempting to cultivate and continue to do, becoming a Gift Horse patron is the absolute best way to support the show. And
you get so much stuff.
This is a fun way to make it, a little bit of a game. You get a little something back. You have good odds of winning. While we have a lot of patrons, the Gift Horse tier is the smallest tier. So your odds are pretty good. As far as lotteries go, you're likely to at least snag yourself some free merch at least, at least once in your fandom of the show.
Tenure.
Yeah, hopefully. All right. So without further ado, I'm giving the wheel a spin, and the official unpunchable gift horse for the month of July. Echo in the Mirror. Their name is listed only on Patreon as Echo in the Mirror. I'm looking through the history. This is the first time. Yeah, I think this is the first time that Echo, we're going to call you Echo from this point on. Or let's see, Echo in EITM. Nah, it doesn't sound as good. Echo.
I like Echo.
Echo in the Mirror. Keep an eye out on your email, and we'll tell you how to claim your victory. There you have it. That'll do it, kids.
Congratulations, and very excited to get to our next patron-only pick. If you guys aren't in the Patreon, it is every single week. We do this show every 2 weeks, but we drop patron episodes every single week. So in addition to the gift horses, if you become a patron, you can hear 193 this week. We're approaching 200 episodes of the patron-only pod, and in that patron-only pod, we do between 4 to 10, sometimes more, actual reviews. So let's say 5.
And you're off a couple weeks because we're at 196 this Friday.
Oh, that's exciting. Okay, so we're really close to 200. So let's say we do 5 reviews each, just for easy math. That's 10 reviews times 200. That's 2,000 reviews you get access to at the jump. If, frankly, you can catch up, that's impressive, one, but also a terrifying volume of movies we watch. So get over there to Patreon, check it out, and we'll be back this week for more patron goodness, and we'll be back in 2 weeks for more KoiCast goodness. Before we leave, I want to thank each and every one of you for being here. I do want to recommend you check out koicast.com. We got shirts, we got mugs, we got all sorts of dope sweatshirts. We got all sorts of goodness over there with sweet, sweet graphics, thanks to Jake Lloyd Bacon's actual visual acumen, as opposed to mine when I'm learning more and more, making thumbnails. Man, do I not see the way that Jake does. It's just it's another animal. I tip my hat, and I have a KoiCast hat available at koicast.com.
Well done.
Also call in at 818-794-0722. That's 818-794. I'm going to make sure that's the right number because Jake made a face, and I think I'm right.
It's also because you said O, and it's like a pet peeve of mine when people don't say 0.
Is that actually a pet peeve?
Yeah, because my phone number growing up had a 0 in it, and every time I would say an O, my mom would be like, it's a 0. And while that's obnoxious, she has given me that obnoxiousness, and now I do that.
So you passed it on. Well, the number was correct. The face was out of my verbiage.
O is not a number. O is not a number.
818-794-0722. You can also send voice memos to contact@koicast.com. You guys are the co-hosts. Send in your thoughts, send in your questions, and thank you for all the engagement. Love, very much appreciate the warm, fuzzy community we have built here. We will see you guys in 2 weeks, and we'll see you patrons this week. Much love. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
If you're enjoying this podcast or any podcasts on the Dragon Wagon Radio Network, be sure to check out the Dragon Wagon shop. You can tout your podcast pride while supporting your favorite indie podcast network. Make sure to check it often for new items and limited time designs. So shop now at dragonwagonshop.com. Get your dragon swag on.
It's Dragon Wagon.